Welcome, trivalent beings of spirit, mind, and body. Time for the Ask Doc Alkebulanese Solutions show, sponsored by Prometheus Reborn Universal Foundation, also known as Proof. Its mission is to spread the trivalent understanding noetics, featuring stand-up philosophy that includes anthropology, psychology, biology, metaphysics, medicine, psychodrama, comedy, and music through a genre called edutainment, educating while entertaining, coined by KRS-One. The host of this wonderful show is Dr. Kwaku L. Carlisle Woods, RN, MD, MED-D1, and myself, co-host, Dr. Hamida Rockman Woods, MED, PhD, MED-D2.
I have the PH.
And I have the M.
We
both have D's. That makes us Doc².
Welcome.
Absolutely, y'all. And today's show, let's have Chinese.
Yes, that's the title.
Yeah. Let's have Chinese.
Let's have it.
Now, in my neighborhood in St. Louis when I was a child, every payday, every Friday, we would get the opportunity to order Chinese food. That was a symbol of our success. We had made it through another week. And yeah, that's how we did it. Now, we're going to do that a little bit different today. And we're going to start off as we normally start off with the Hip Hop Trio Plus.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to be doing some gigs if the Lord says the same and COVID don't come up and kill us. We're looking at several different Christmas and Kwanzaa things.
Correct. And Black History Month.
Black History Month. Who are the people that I normally am the speaker at that thing at the library?
At
Kwanzaa?
the library. That is the sorority. And I just cannot remember the name.
That's all right. It's a sorority. Kwanzaa Brewers doing some stuff for us.
Also, Rose School.
Right. We're set up to do that also.
Knows.
Now, this past week, we had a unique opportunity to engage in an appreciation of dance. We went to the Cleveland Dance Movement. They're part of IABD, International Association of Blacks in Dance.
Yes, and our daughters are dancers with them as well.
Yes.
Daya and Jamila.
Daya and Jamila are both dancers. Jamila's a choreographer in addition to
she is.
others. The other choreographers, Darnell Weaver, Rondell,
Yes.
and Nehemiah.
Right. Now, they are presidents of their own organization as well.
As well as choreographers for the Cleveland Dance
director.
Movement, who's led by Doraway Victor.
Vector, yes.
Wow. We had a wonderful time. I need 2 more IABD Cleveland shirts, the black and gold ones. I need 2 more of those, Dora. I'm gonna be
so
talking
we
to
can
you.
sport them on our show and call y'all out.
So,
Yes.
absolutely.
Want to show you off.
Okay. Now, no talk today about pink people and their choice of abandoning the Christian philosophy of each man is your brother.
Right.
Do unto others,
Right. Yes.
Or the other one, we are all children of the Most High. All 3 of those pink people have totally and completely abandoned for the material enrichment brought by buying and selling the first humanity created by God, our ancestors from Alkebulan. No, we're going to leave the tortured lives of my Alkebulanese ancestors alone today. For a bit, for a minute, for a pace of time. And we are not going to explore the prison enslavement complex that the 13th Amendment replaced it with. Read the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment says that you shall not enslave another person unless they are convicted of a crime. Why would they put that in an amendment unless they plan to use it to enslave people that they had convicted of a crime. That's why police stop, question, and search Alkebulanese 3 to 5 times more than they do pink people. And more police patrol Alkebulanese neighborhoods more than any place else on the planet. You must understand, police were first used to control runaway slaves. That's how the first police departments in the United States of America came to be. Now, when I first came to Cleveland, I moved to a place called Parma Heights. I lived right off Chevrolet Boulevard, right next to Big Creek, the creek, not the parkway, the actual creek itself. I lived in an apartment that overlooked Big Creek. And there were police in that neighborhood. I lived there about a year and some odd. There were police that I saw twice in a year and a half. Twice. And that was when they were just coming down Chevrolet Boulevard to go someplace else. I saw them twice. Then I moved to East Cleveland, at which point I started seeing police every 10 minutes. Who are you going to arrest? Who are you going to search? Who are you going to stop? Who are you going to suspect? When all of your forces are marshaled for one group, for one people. Okay. No, but we ain't going there. We're going to leave that alone. We're not going to talk very much about that. Today we are celebrating instead the 40th year anniversary of the death of Vincent Chin in the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. I knew it was a reason that I didn't particularly like Michigan, especially Detroit. It ain't got nothing to do with the fact that I'm in Cleveland and the Browns are doing bad. The only thing that's helping that is the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing just as bad. Okay. I am going to instead talk about Vincent Chin. Now, as I've told everybody, though I look like an average African-American male, yo, you feel me though, nah, man. I actually grew up in Southeast Asia. I left this country as a teenager and ended up in Southeast Asia, the Philippines, Korea, Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, Kowloon, right across the bay from Hong Kong. For a brief period of time, I went to the international school there and learned a thing or two.
Excellent.
But my longest running student here in Cleveland is a young woman by the name of Annie Puying. Can we see Annie Puying? That's her. That's her right there, next to me. With we were at the Erie Chinese Journal, which she is the publisher of.
Yes.
The Hip Hop Trio Plus.
Their annual New Year event that we
Yes.
perform at. This was our third year performing at the annual Chinese New Year.
We are in the Erie Chinese Journal, just about every issue.
And that is her between myself and Doc.
Yes, that's Annie Pooh.
And that's Jack Creation that's standing between Pooh and Doc.
We won't talk about Jack. Okay. Now, it isn't just the fact that Pooh has been my longest running and most faithful student.
Yeah.
He's been a student for more than, 8 years.
Yeah. A side note, very quick. That's the rest of the Hip Hop Trio, plus in that group as well in the red, Kenya beside me and Shelly K beside Doc.
Okay. But Pooh's not the only connection to Southeast Asia. You see, my first wife, her name was Teresa Ann Labliazo. Wait a minute, put her back up there, y'all. That's Teresa. That's me in medical school, and that's her sitting between my lap. Mm-hmm. Her father was Hawaiian, her mother was Filipino. She comes from a place called Ilangapo in the Philippines. It's an island. Iloilo is the capital city. Mm. That's why I speak Iliganong as well as Tagalog. Mm-hmm. All right. But I spent all this time in Southeast Asia growing up and becoming a man. It taught me how to live. And it taught me also about the barriers to my living that I was going to have to overcome. Mm-hmm. Vincent Chin had to overcome some of those same barriers. Mm. He was a 27-year-old male, only days away from his wedding day. This man was about to be married. He was trying to enjoy a traditional stag night with friends when he was beaten to death by two pink men with a baseball bat. Mm-hmm. That's Vincent Chin. He was beaten to death with a baseball bat. Mm. Being beaten to death with a baseball bat is bad in and of itself. But being beaten to death with a baseball bat about 3 days away from you getting married? Mm. Mm. Okay. The two men who were convicted of beating him to death were named Ronald Evans and his stepson, Michael Nitz. Ronald Evans and Michael Nitz, that'd be them. Mm-hmm. Now, they were found guilty and they were punished by a $3,000 fine. I think that was probably for the blood and brains they littered the street with, or the traffic problems that the dead body posed. I don't know. They received a total of 0 time in jail. Mm-hmm. They didn't get a hot minute behind bars. They had to pay $3,000 and they walked. This sparked a call for justice in the name of Vincent Chin and revealed that pink people had a problem not only with Native Americans, Alkebulanese, and Hispanics, but with Asians and pink women too. PBS NewsHour did a special on June 19th because it was on June 19th, 1982, just days away again from his wedding, that Vincent Chin went out to celebrate with friends and family in Detroit. Two pink men, again, Ronald Evans and his stepson, Michael Nitz, attacked Vincent with a baseball bat and beat him to death. A 1998 documentary, Who Killed Vincent Chin, was immediately filmed after that and was nominated for an Academy Award. Yeah, they give Oscars for movies that we all knew the answers to. Who killed Vincent Chin? They knew who killed him. Those two admitted they killed him with a baseball bat. The scene from a film, and Who Killed Vincent Chin. It was a hot night in Detroit, and the men from the auto plants were looking for a night out on the town. Of course, alcohol abuse and violence is the night out on the town for pink men. Mm-hmm. Somebody started a fight, and when it was over, Vincent Chin was dead. His head split wide open with a baseball bat. A Detroit official stated in the film, Vincent Chin would be alive today if he were not Asian. Mm. Notice they say Asian. Mm. They don't say Chinese. They don't say Korean. They don't say Filipino. They don't say Japanese. They just simply say Asian. Because generally that's pretty much all you got to be is not pink for pink people to target you. It was so hard. Now, one of the murderers, I am not mistaken, this is Michael Nitt, said in the film, it's so hard to explain. It's something you don't plan on happen. Ooh. It just happens. And he's the guy to the right.
It was deep in his soul already. Instinct.
Yes. Now, Vincent Chin's mother in the film exclaims, I want justice for my son. For my son, with tears in her eyes and in her voice. She begged for justice for her son and then said, just like most Chinese, thank you. Was it racism? Or was it something else? Okay. That's what this is about. Was it racism? Was it racism that caused two pink males to take a baseball bat and beat a Chinese American's brains out? I think it's something else. Since race is always based on the race of the person antagonized. But pink paranoia is always
pink paranoia,
the result of the fear, anxiety, and anger
of
the antagonizer. Okay. Now, I had a definition for racism that states specifically that racism are always about
pink paranoia. He just put the picture up.
It's been up, actually.
Yeah, it has been up.
Oh, okay.
It has been up.
I just looked up.
Yes, indeed.
I was waiting
you
for
just
it.
looked up.
Missed
This is not racism. Racism, again, is about the race of the victim, the person that is victimized. It is their race that is at issue in racism. This is not racism because this is not about the race of the victim. Again, pink people have this paranoia against everybody who's not pink. They have this same paranoia against Alkebulanese, Hispanics, Asians, Native Americans, not almost, anybody who is not the recessive characteristic known as being pink. All Karens and Kevins start from a paranoid view or imagings of pink people being victimized by others. This is always, or almost always, wrong, incorrect, or just a lie. But pink people have no problems accepting lies. Witness line 44.5's following. And this man has been documented to have lied more than 4,000 times in the 4 years that he was the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Proven, documented, award-winning liar.
Mm-hmm.
There was an author named Min Jin Lee. She wrote a novel called Pachinko and another novel called Free Food for Millionaires. Think about that. Min Jin Lee, that's her, y'all. She is a writer in residence at Amherst College. And she was asked, why does Vincent Chin's story resonate right now? And she says, right now is one of the worst times to be Asian or Asian American in the United States of America. Since the onset of the COVID pandemic, there have been more than 11,000 incidents of Asian hate in the past 18 months. Asians are the fastest growing minority. They are the most diverse minority. And by diversity, I'm talking about diversity of religion, diversity of culture, diversity of language, diversity of the nations that they come from. But they only formed a political community since Vincent Chin's death 40 years ago. Because the death of Mr. Chin showed them that police are not going to protect them unless they have some political clout. The courts are not going to represent them unless they have some political clout. You get fined $3,000 for killing somebody? So they decided that there was a need to have a force to combat this pink paranoia. Helen Zia, a civil rights icon, and she is a caretaker and executor of the estate of Vincent Chin. That's Helen. She is a civil rights icon, joined with another civil rights icon about 40 years ago. His name was Jesse Jackson. You might have heard of the boy. That looked like him. It looked like his face on the front of his head.
Yes, Jesse Jackson. And it makes me feel like Brother's Keeper. Brother's Keeper. That's what it makes me feel like, the song.
Okay.
Brother's Keeper.
Now, let's do that then. Mick?
Yeah, man.
Is there any way that we could play a song right about now?
Sure.
My wife just came up with the song Brother's Keeper. Because it starts off with a little short speechifying by the guy that we introduced to Cleveland about, 12 years ago? Yeah. I think his name was Barack Obama. And in his first visit to Cleveland as a presidential candidate, if I'm not mistaken, we were his opening act. And he talked then about being his brother's keeper.
Yes.
That's the promise of America. The idea that we are responsible for ourselves, but that we also rise or fall as one nation. The fundamental belief that I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. That's the promise we need to keep. That's the change we need right now.
Yeah. Global entertainment. That's right. Oh sound, baby. Oh sound, baby. Yeah, we got Mick Beats on the 1-2s. What's up, Dougie? Hey. A brothel, I got you. Listen. Yeah, now I'ma need you to bite your tongue and just listen to the truth. I'm trying to penetrate your soul with these rhymes of blues. Picture the day, you're not hating me, I'm not hating you. Back when the old heads could talk to the youth, we gotta humble ourselves to find God in ourselves. The wicked sell why the true artists stay on the shelf. Ask this question, think we got a little too comfortable. The sins that we commit, we never wanna stop and question them. It's like we wear a blindfold on our eyes. That's an immunity to see wrong in these devilish times. We can't seem to get away from this guilt and shame. We fear knowledge, that's why we still act like slaves. I watch my brothers and sisters walk around with no pride. Now ball your fist up and throw your hand high in the sky. To free the people was part of the plan. That's why they trust me. Put this microphone in my hand. Your brother's keeper.
Brother's keeper.
Yes, I am.
And my sister's keeper.
Yes, I am.
Am I that one you speak of?
Yes, I am.
That's why they trust me. Put this microphone in my hand. Am I my sister's keeper?
Yes, I am.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, I am.
I bet you I can reach ya.
Yes, I can.
I want to see you. That's why I got this mic in my
Hey,
hand.
American sister, tell me how you doing. To my American brothers, keep on moving up in life. And yeah, I know it's stressing you out. You feel you work the block shift to keep food in your mouth. My single mothers trying to pay the rent for the house, and does your man love you? Having them thoughts of doubt, yo, don't stress it. Let the pain ease from your soul. When all you're never too old to accomplish your goals. To my shorties in the street who never had a home, had to learn at an early age to stand on their own. I pray for you and all the struggle that you go through. That's why I'm here on this track, reaching out to you. Learn to see each other as brothers instead of different races. Stop labeling each other by the color of our faces. To free the people was part of the plan. I won't deceive you, that's why I got this mic in my hand. Your brother's keeper.
Brother's keeper.
Yes, I am.
Am I my sister's keeper?
Yes, I am.
Am I that one you speak of?
Yes, I am.
That's why they trust me. You put this microphone in my hand. Am I my sister's keeper?
Yes, I am.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, I am.
I bet you I can reach ya.
Yes, I can.
I want to see you. That's why I got this mic in my hand.
Hey yo, what's up, fam? Yeah, I'm talking to you. They say you all what you eat with just a spiritual food. For the ear, just manifest it. Don't know what I can't get. They call me undereducated, plus I read Revelation. So I'm 10 steps ahead of Satan. This rhyme is food for thought, you can call it meditation. Illustrations of Quad being a false seeker. Great preacher, on the mic is here to teach you. The streets call me pain reliever. Your brother's keeper, keeper. Hey, yeah. Now I'ma need y'all to do something for me. You ready? Yeah. Open your eyes and tune your ears so you know what you see and understand what you hear. Your brother's keeper, 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 keeper.
Keeper. Am I my sister's keeper? Am I that one you speak of?
Yes, I am.
That's why they trust me. They put this microphone in my hand. Am I my sister's keeper?
Yes, I am.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, I am.
I bet you I can reach ya.
Yes, I can.
I want to see you. That's why I got this mic in my hand.
That be us, y'all. Yeah. That be us. Introducing the best president this country has ever had.
That was the Afro-Pens that include Humble G, the fiddler, Mick Beats, Doc,
Yeah.
and OG.
OG's.
OG's in there.
OG's is in there.
Mm-hmm.
I am a bravo kweku amwa.
Yes.
And that's why he said, a bravo, I got you. Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm,
yes.
yeah. All right, y'all. That's what we were supposed to be doing. And author Min Jin Lee states that the extraordinary debt that Asian Americans, Hispanics, and white women and all oppressed minorities around the world. That I'm adding that. And in this country owe to African American civil rights movements should not be understated. The civil rights movement is about humanity. The civil rights movement is about recognizing, appreciating, and honoring that humanity. That is what our ancestors have been championing ever since we were first called not human. Okay, everybody, let's see what's going on. The Meta Channel.
Hey,
welcome,
Brenda,
everyone.
Sister
Yeah,
Brenda.
Sister Brenda. No, y'all didn't. You didn't.
No, you
miss
didn't. We started early
We started
today
something.
because the holiday tomorrow.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Plus, the weather is killing me.
Yes, it's causing the barometric pressures.
Changes
havoc.
the changes in the barometric
Love
pressure.
this show, McKinley Tate the Third. Thank
Yes,
you so
thank
much.
you so much. We love
Continue
that.
to be blessed.
We do. We love being loved.
Yes.
And we love doing this show. All right, y'all. African American civil rights leaders linked their movement to the death of Vincent Chin. This is Arthur Min Jin Lee still. They utilized their time, energy, resources, and connections, and those were the means to provide visibility of Vincent's case. She states without the attention brought to Vincent's death by our ancestors and the credibility that they possessed with the political collections that they had been laboring and suffering to create, led to them having some recognition brought to Vincent's death. Okay, Helen Zia, as executive of the Vincent Chin estate, has really highlighted this point. Min Jin Lee wrote a piece for the New York Times saying this was a horrible time to be an Asian American, entitled, Asian Americans Have Always Lived with Fear. This is brand new on the New York Times. She just wrote it this past week. And she states that since Chinese arrived here for the building and construction of the Transcontinental Railway, there has always been fear, oppression, paranoia, and death at the hands of pink men dealing with pink paranoia. One of the things I did not recognize was the fact that this was almost exclusively Chinese men. They were not allowing Chinese females to immigrate to the United States because they didn't want Chinese to fall in love. They didn't want Chinese to marry and have families and grow up in the United States of America. That's treating people like your brother, right? Since Vincent's death, there has been both fear and peace over the last 40 years, she states. In the last 2 years, Lion 44.5 calls on television, radio, and just about everything that's electronic to end the China virus. That's what he called it.
Now, don't that sound caveman-like, y'all?
It is. It's very infantile. It's very juvenile. It sounds like a pink person. And specifically, it sounds like a pink man. They don't think as well as pink females. No male thinks as well as any female. I don't think as well as an Alkebulanese female. I don't. I have a man's mind. Well, I have a man's brain. My mind is kind of jacked up. It's some of everything. And ain't even all human, but we'll go into that later.
Sure. He's strange, y'all. No, he's already broadcasted that.
It's true.
Accept it.
It's true.
It's real.
Now, since Line 44.5 called to end the China virus, this virus has been associated with Asians, and it has associated Asians with dis-ease and death, even though there are no factual associations between Asians and disease. No, there is much more association with pink people and disease. Pink people have always been the carriers of the most deadly diseases and plagues throughout history. Who did the Black Death come from? Who did syphilis come from? Who did measles come from? Who did tuberculosis come from?
All European diseases.
I was shocked when I was in medical school.
Yes.
And I read a book about this thick called Brunner's. And it was an appendix of all diseases. All of them except that much are primarily diseases found in pink people. The only disease that are found primarily in Alkebulanese are sickle cell, sarcoid.
High blood pressure.
No, that's mainly in pink people.
Okay.
It's one other immune disease. But those are the only diseases that are primarily in Alkebulanese. At least that's what that big-ass, thick-ass Brunner's said.
Hey, Doc, I think don't everybody got high blood pressure because we follow that European diet?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I think.
Not just the European diet. We followed their psychology. We followed their spiritual imaging. That's what my whole trivalent understanding noetics is about. Changing the images.
And to I think to Hamida's credit, I think it really messes us up to eating like them.
Yes, it does. It really, 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 really does. The first article I ever wrote for a publication in Cleveland was for the Healthy Referral International, and it was about weight gain. And it was about the fact that our ancestors had to burn between 5,000 and 7,000 calories every day. So they had to eat between 7,000 and 9,000 calories every day. And pink people were not giving them that much food. So they had to develop, invent ways to put extra calories in their food. There was no such thing as deep fat frying until our ancestors created it. There was no such things as sauces, gravies, until our ancestors created it. They created it because of the enslavement that made them have to go out in the field and work from can't see in the morning to can't see at night. They passed these meals, these foods, and Thanksgiving coming up, I'm going to have a whole bunch of them. Macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes and gravy.
Don't say it. Don't
all
say
of those.
It's Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Well, so you can have it once or twice a year. But we were trained to eat that every day. That's what our ancestors had to eat every day. So we had to eat that every day. And we were trained that was, quote unquote, Southern food. No, that was slave food. But we never were told that. So even after slavery, even if we working in McDonald's, even if we ain't working at all, we're still eating like we are enslaved and burning off 5,000 to 9,000 calories a day.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's why obesity is epidemic. That's why diabetes is epidemic. That's why hypertension is epidemic. That's why heart disease is epidemic. That's why all of these conditions revolve around the fact that we have been taught to eat like slaves. But we no longer work like them.
So you mean to tell me, Doc, people that like soul food, they eating like slaves, and they just can't. It's in their DNA to eat that food.
Yeah.
They just don't work as much.
Actually, eating like they're enslaved.
They are, again, eating like they are enslaved. But that's what we have been trained is, just as you said, soul food. Right. That's what we grew up liking. That's what we were raised on. And that's what we want to eat.
How we gonna break that habit, Doc? Soul food. You can't. How you gonna? That's a hard one, right?
Number one, understand the problem.
Yeah.
Proper education always corrects errors. First thing is understand the problem. Our ancestors created these foods because they were necessary in order for us to live, in order for us to survive, in order for us to make the next generation. We had to do that. And we were creative. Our ancestors were creative and inventive enough to take the hog fat and the other leavings that pink people would let them have and make them into something that could carry those.
Yeah. Madase, Sister Brenda. Tender loving care. We will keep it up.
Yes,
and
indeed.
your tender loving care and support, we want you to keep up because we need it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We absolutely require it. We got some more?
We got Jasmine Anderson. Dang, I'm a bit lost on everything. LOL. I know it's so.
Wow.
Something deep. That's what she said. She in her next line.
Yes.
But yes, it is something deep. But you know what
is.
you can do, my dear sister? When this show is over, go back and look at all the other shows in addition to this one. It will give you a little bit more insight to what you're listening to.
Absolutely. Go to the Meta channel on YouTube, and we have all of these videos setting up there for you.
Yeah.
Or Facebook.
Thank you.
Facebook.
Or Facebook.
And it is, as Doc just said, my dear husband, the Meta channel.
And you got to spell Meta with 2 T's and a AH. METTA.
Yes.
Now, a question to Jasmine Anderson. Are you saying, dang, I'm a bit lost on everything? I'm not sure she was talking about the show. I just think she's talking about just in general right now.
I think you're absolutely right.
All righty.
I think you're absolutely right. But the same advice that my wife gave is still valid.
I could be wrong.
No, sir. I think
you're right.
I think you're right. Jasmine, you're supposed to be exactly there. You have to recognize that you're not where you need to be before you change directions and go someplace else. You first have to recognize, wait a minute, hold on. This ain't making sense. I'm lost. You have to first make that recognition and then change directions.
And the sad truth is most of us are lost.
Yeah, anybody who's not taking my class is lost. Now, that's my ego talking, but it's also God talking. Because God said what? Know yourself?
Know thyself.
Yeah.
And you shall be free.
Yeah. My people perish from lack of knowledge. Sound familiar? Okay, all that in the Bible. And if you do not have the knowledge, you're going to be kind of confused and lost.
Yeah.
And it's pink people's job to keep you lost. Because if you are found, they become lost. If you find out who you really are, what you really are, when and where you really are, you will not be following them. You won't be working at McDonald's. You won't be working for General Motors. You won't be doing them. You'll be doing you.
Jasmine, if you'd like to know more about the classes that we offer, go to YouTube and inbox us.
Yes. The greater involvement of Asian Americans with political and civic engagement to support democracy, is a beautiful thing.
It is.
This is, again, the writer saying that. My own thoughts revolve around understanding the pink paranoia and other paradigm that have been twisted through pink reason so that their fears become our problems. Mm-hmm. Their paranoia transforms into our deaths. Mm-hmm. And their dis-ease becomes our death. Not just ours. Their dis-ease becomes all of life's death. It is not ignored that pink people have killed more fish, birds, and trees than anything that has ever existed. And in the last 2,000 years, they have been responsible for the destruction of so many different species of life as to be ridiculous. I'm joining Vincent Wright legacy with the millions of others who lost living due to pink paranoia, resulting in a coalition of caring.
Coalition of caring.
Coalition of caring.
Yes.
We got a slide that says coalition of caring.
Yeah.
There it is.
We want you to imprint that on your spirit.
That's what we should be, not about pink paranoia. Pink paranoia is satanic. Pink paranoia is evil. Pink paranoia is sinful. Pink paranoia is destructive. Pink paranoia is just the opposite of what Yeshua ben Yosef, who pink people call Jesus Christ, had been teaching for his whole existence. He brought that teaching from Alkebulan, where he grew up at. It is pink people's job to make Alkebulanese not understand this so that they can claim its birthright while they violate all of its tenets. Okay, y'all. Any more calls? Any more? We got no questions? Because I'm through. I'm through. I'm over. I'm done with it. And my wife and I simply have
wish you a happy, wonderful holiday. Thanksgiving.
Tomorrow.
Enjoy your family.
Enjoy the holiday.
Enjoy
by
peace.
all means.
Yes.
And we're still free classes for anybody 18 to 35 who can show that they voted last Tuesday.
Yes, so you can give us a call, text us at 216-375-2742. Again, 216-375-2742.
Till then, we wish you
peace,
which stands for proper education always corrects error. We'll see y'all later.
Yes.
Peace out, y'all.
End of the video. Well, I am tired. Oh, you made it to the end of the video. Well, I am tired a little bit differently. I'm dressed as Baba Amwa. If you would like more of your own understanding, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
And go to the sites that we have listed around us. The Most High is good.
And the ancestors are kind.
Thanks
for having us on your minds.
Peace.